Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You have the right to remain well entertained. I am Bill Nye and I'm here to, dare I say it, save the world. Ask me anything. Bill, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk and what he is doing for the scientific world through Tesla and SpaceX? He and his companies are shaking things up in a great way. Some disclosure, he served on the board of the Planetary Society for a while, but has had to recuse himself as SpaceX became huge. I gave him a ride to the airport once. The Tesla outperforms conventional gas-powered cars, as does my new all-electric Chevy Bolt. If the reused lower stage of the Falcon rockets proves profitable, it will change space exploration in great way. Go Elon. He's an immigrant to the US, BT dubs, huge is going in the dictionary, isn't it? Hey Mr. Science Guy. I grew up watching your show and it definitely influenced my path towards engineering. My question is, what science fact absolutely blows your mind? You and I are made of the same material as the stars. We are stardust. Therefore, you and I are at least one way that the universe knows itself. Cue the spooky music. Bill, what was it like collaborating with Tyler, the creator for the theme song for the new show? What made you choose him initially? Do you have an ongoing friendship with him? Oh, we hang out all the time. He comes by the Planetary Society, we talk about the cosmos and our place in space. This can't be real. I think it is. Love me some Tyler, and he's an odd dude. Doesn't party. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, still lives at home with his mom and sister. So I can see him doing stuff like this in his spare time. Hi Bill, thanks for doing this. I've got a question. I know that maybe it's not specifically in your field, but I would still appreciate your thoughts as someone trying to save the world. To what extent do you envisage automation replacing common jobs anytime soon, on a large scale? If this is accomplished, do you think it will be a current player, Amazon/Google/Tesla, something completely left field no one expected, or a community effort from thousands of small to medium-sized enterprises working together? Thanks. Self-driving vehicles seem to me to be the next big thing. Think of all the drivers, who will be able to do something more challenging and productive with their workday. They could be erecting wind turbines, installing photovoltaic panels, and running distributed grid power lines. Woohoo! Thanks so much for being here. Any chance of working with Disney again on the Energy Pavilion at Epcot? Lots of people would love to see an update based on everything we know about the subject now as opposed to 20 years ago, especially if you had something to say. Not my choice. Please ask the Disneyans to refresh the ride. It was a fun job. It was sponsored by Exxon, while they still owned a division that made bearings for wind turbine generators, and before their climate denial documents from 1977 were discovered and published in the New York Times. I'd love to do a new show though. Hands down the best Disney ride when you need a half hour to sit and chill. First, thanks for making science class so great in middle school. I still have that theme song stuck in my head. What is our worst case scenario assuming nothing gets done to save the world, and what does the timeline look like? How much is my life going to be affected? My kids? I know we need to do something, but what if it doesn't work out? The quality of life for people everywhere will go down. There will be less food and less clean water available in the developed and the developing world. It's reasonable that this will lead to conflict, more violence, more war. Here in the super-developed US, people will have to abandon homes in Miami, Galveston, Norfolk, and other coastal towns. It will lead to defaulted mortgages and people looking for jobs inland. Where will those jobs come from? Sooner we get to work, the better. Hey Bill, what are your thoughts on animal agriculture and the promotion of a vegan diet as to reduce our impact on climate change? Plant-based diets are the future. I look forward to food preparations that are not derivative bits, as we say in comedy writing. Instead of coconut bacon, for example, I hope there is just delicious standalone coconut preparations. Cooking is a competitive business. I look forward to the emergence of new plant-based dishes. Bill, should I continue being a paramedic or just go for it and try to become an emergency department physician? Go for it. People seldom regret what they do, they, or we, regret what we don't do. People seldom regret what they do sounds like you've never mistaken your blender for your rotating fleshlight. Hey there Bill. Was curious, what was your favorite episode of the old Bill Nye the Science Guy show? There must have been one episode you did that stood out to you more than others. Nope. When you get your job as a dancer on Broadway, Don't ever tell people who your favorite dance partner is. Otherwise, you won't get a chance to dance with anyone else. There is something in every episode that I just love. The spit take in ocean life cracks me up, as does the screaming skull I'm holding in bones and muscles. And, who doesn't love passing out in a fighter plane pulling 7.5 grams? Hey Bill, what's your take on our chances of becoming a multi-planetary civilization in the foreseeable future? Infinitesimal. If you think you want to live on Mars, try living in the dry valleys of Antarctica for a few years. And to play fair, you have to bring your own air to breathe. Inhaling the local atmosphere on Mars would kill you in an instant. You'd never go outside, not really. You'd live in some dome, and when you go out, you have to be in a spacesuit, which is just another dome, only really tight fitting. Oh, and there is absolutely nothing to eat. You'd never go outside, not really. Awesome, so I wouldn't have to make any major lifestyle change. Hi Bill. You're doing great work. My questions for you are, what is your favorite element and favorite subatomic particle? What scientific mystery do you most want to solve? Favorite element? Don't have one, but I am fond of the compound water. In fact, now that I've sipped it, I don't think I could live without it. Subatomic particle? Not sure, but I'd sure like to know if there are particles associated with dark matter. Darkons? We've heard the chant of your name even way over here in New Zealand. Just a small question. Favorite astronomy point in the night sky? Thanks for your support. I don't have a favorite. Saturn is beautiful. And, I am fond of the Earth's moon. You spelled it both ways, you absolute ducking gent. The gent supreme. Mr. Nye, how tall are you? 183. -1 points. Forgotten units. Where do you shop for ties? I grew up in a bow tie family. I want a Bill Nye Science Guy signature bow tie. Check out Nick Graham. Consider buying our ties. Bill Nye the Science Tie. I like you. You made me giggle. Can you please run for president? Traditionally, we hired people to be president who had some experience in government. So, I'm probably not the right guy for the job. I hope more and more of us can now see that governing is not the same as running business, or trying to run a business. The government cannot declare bankruptcy 6 times, for example. A US president is not like a king. He or she cannot decree laws unilaterally. It takes consensus, and that is generally not quite the same as a negotiation for a piece of property. I hope more and more of us can see that governing is more complicated than closing a single business deal. Your outlook here is exactly why you'd be a better president than our current one. Bill Nye. My AS membership led me to the IDP career test at sciencecareers.org. I'm 27 years old and am finally considering a college education. My top result is science education for non-scientists, of which I believe you have ample experience. How would you suggest entering this career field? Would any specific college major help, or will any science-based major suffice? Would you ever consider letting an individual, such as myself, job shadow you for a couple days? Lastly, do you plan to attend this year's Star Talk Saturnalia party? I'm also a member of the Planetary Society and have to thank you and your team for your science advocacy. I look forward to watching Bill Nye Saves the World. Keep up the great work. Bonus question. Have you heard of the Show About Science podcast run by 6-year-old, yes only 6, Nate Butkus? I would love to hear you interviewed on his show. You have been an inspiration since my youth. I know you'd inspire him also. Be sure you can do algebra. It is a key to success in a technical field. I work in a writer's room these days. If you want to do what I do now, look for a job as a television writer. Thanks for being a member of the Planetary Society. We advance space science and exploration. Let's know the cosmos and our place within it. Hey Bill, do you think your TV show has helped or hurt the messages you're trying to spend? Does your reputation make people listen or tune out? I hope people coming of age have a respect for the process of science, in part because of my shows. If not, I guess I've failed, but I did and continue to do my best. Check out Bill Nye Saves the World, which starts on Friday on Netflix. There are 13 episodes. Binge 'em, and turn it up loud. I don't know how your show could have possibly hurt the message that science rules. Carry on, my dude. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out. and catch you in the next video.